Good morning, children. Today we are going to continue with our exercise of subject and predicate. Yesterday I had shared a video with you wherein I explained all the rules of subject and predicate. Today in this video I am going to do some practice sentences with you. So this is basically to check your understanding from the last class's video. The sentences that I give you over here, these are not from your textbook. These are extra sentences I've picked up from the internet, so that you all can practice this along with me in your Zoom class as well as in this video session. Alright, after we are done with these sentences, practicing these extra sentences, we are going to move on to the book exercises. Alright, so let us see our sentences over here. So the first sentence is, the sun was shining brightly. You simply need to differentiate between the subject and the predicate in these sentences. Alright, so the sun was shining brightly. So as I told you in the last video that I had shared, that predicate starts with a verb. So it is a helping verb or a main verb from which the predicate can start. So let us see what is the subject over here. The sun is the subject. Was shining brightly is the predicate. So the sun is underlined in pink, so it is the subject. And was shining brightly is circled in green, that is the predicate. Alright, let's come to the next one. The dogs were barking loudly. So who were barking? The dogs. So what is the subject? Subject is the dogs. Were barking loudly is the predicate. Next, the pretty girl was wearing a blue frock. So who are we talking about? We're talking about the pretty girl. So the pretty girl is the subject and was wearing a blue frock is the predicate. My younger brother serves in the army. Who serves in the army? My younger brother. So who are we talking about? Who is the focus of our sentence? It is my younger brother. So my younger brother is the subject. So it is underlined in pink if you can see that. Serves in the army is the predicate. So what are we saying about my younger brother? That my younger brother serves in the army. So serves in the army is the predicate. So it is circled in green. Okay. Next sentence. The man and his wife were working in their garden. So there's a man and there's the man's wife. So two people are there. We're talking about two people over here. One is the man and the other is the man's wife. What are they doing? They were working in their garden. So subject is going to be the man and his wife. Since two of them are doing the work, what were they doing? Were working in their garden. That is the predicate. Now this next one, number 6. You don't have to wait for me. So who doesn't have to wait? You. So subject is only you. What you don't have to do? You don't have to wait for me. So don't have to wait for me is the predicate. Next sentence, it is very similar to number 6, the previous one. We will no longer tolerate this. Only one word subject, we. Who will not tolerate? We. So who are we talking about? We. Okay. So we is the subject, underlined in pink. What will we not do? Will no longer tolerate this. So what are we saying about us? We are saying that we will no longer tolerate this. So will no longer tolerate this is the predicate. Next one. The little tree was covered with flowers. Here we are talking about the little tree. So little tree is the subject. Was covered with flowers is the predicate. Next one. A rich merchant was passing the shoemaker's window. Who are we talking about? Again, focus of the sentence is a rich merchant. So a rich merchant is the subject. And what are we saying about the rich merchant? That he was passing by the shoemaker's window. Thus that is the predicate, circled in green. Number 10, my mother and my aunt. Again, there are two people doing the work over here. Are trained classical dancers. Okay, so what are we saying about my mother and my aunt? That they are trained classical dancers. Again, two people doing the work. So subject is my mother and my aunt. What are we saying about them? We're saying that they are trained classical dancers. That is the predicate. These are a few practice sentences. It is good to know as many and practice as many sentences as you can. There are some more sentences that I've added in this presentation. These are the sentences which were the exception cases. I had dealt with these different kind of sentences in the explanation video as well. We are going to do 3 quick sentences for understanding how to do it. Okay. First one over here. Okay, so the first sentence is shut the door. So when you practice and when you solve such sentences for subject and predicate, it is always a good habit that you first try to identify the kind of sentence. So shut the door, somebody is giving you an order, thus it is an imperative sentence. And I told you in the last class, if you remember, in imperative sentences, the subject may or may not be mentioned. So the subject is always you. Subject may or may not be mentioned. If it is not mentioned, no problem. It does not have to be written all the time. You have to understand that there is an underlying subject over there. Subject is you. So, shut the door, the whole thing is a predicate. There is no subject over here. That is why I have circled the whole thing in green. Whenever you get such a sentence in bracket, you will write you because you is the subject. That is why I have written you in pink because it is the subject. You is not written over here in the sentence. However, whenever you get such a sentence for doing it in your test or your examination, you should write you in bracket. That means no matter if it is not mentioned in the sentence, you know that imperative sentences will always have you as their subject. Okay. Next one. Do you want some pudding? So this is an interrogative sentence. I had told you in the last class that whenever there is an interrogative sentence, subject does not come at the very beginning. It comes in between the helping verb and the main verb. So my subject over here is you, and if you can see, it comes between the helping verb do and the main verb want. So helping verb is do, main verb is want, subject is in between the helping verb and the main verb. So the other thing, do want some pudding, the whole thing is predicate. Whenever you get such sentences, this is how you are going to identify it. Underline the subject and circle the entire part of it, separate circles. Okay, so in this video I am following underlining for subject and circling for predicate. Whenever you get such exercises, stick to whatever the question says. Alright, just don't do whatever I'm doing in the video, just follow the question whatever is saying. In this video I'm following underlining for subjects, circling for predicates. Last sentence for today in this video is what a beautiful morning it is. Comes with an exclamation mark at the end, so it is very easy for you to understand that this is an exclamatory sentence. Again, in the last video for the explanation, it was written over there that subject comes at the end of exclamatory sentences. So subject is it over here. We're talking about it. We're talking about the word it. And what are we saying? It is a beautiful morning. So the remaining part of the sentence is the predicate. Okay, these are three different kinds of sentences. You have to keep this in mind whenever you do subject and predicate. Do not take this as the simple form of sentences. Alright, that's all. I hope that you all have understood this video. We are progressing nicely with this chapter. In the next video, we are going to complete our book exercises. Take care. Thank you.